Hey guys, welcome to episode number 292. Today is Tuesday, so I have another tank tip for you. Today, I wanted to talk about the importance of adjusting your Marina hang-on back breeder boxes. As you can see here, we have a few of them set up on the front of the aquarium, and really what it all comes down to are the feet that are on the bottom of these things. And these things come off, and you can adjust them, and you can actually see there are numbers on each of the sides of these feet. This is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3, and so on. And those are different positions that you can lock that foot into in relation to the rest of the breeder box. And typically what you would want is for both of these feet to be adjusted to that same number, so that essentially both feet are on position number 2, position number 2, position number 2, and then you've got a flat surface against the side of your tank. Now each position obviously adjusts how level your breeder box is going to be in relation to the frame of your tank. And right here I actually have 3 breeder boxes set up. This one is on position number 1, this one is on position number 2, and this one is on position number 3. And if we take a look at the difference between position number 1 and 2 and position number 2 and 3, you can see how those breeder boxes tilt towards the aquarium on position number 1, and then start to tilt away from the aquarium on position number 3. And this is going to be different for every aquarium that you try this on, because the size of the frame is a little bit different, and these actually help to brace the top, and then the feet help to brace the bottom. So this might not work for everyone. You might need to adjust your own depending on the size of tank you have and the size of the frame that you have. But these are 40-gallon breeder Aquarium tanks, and for me, if we check level, we can see what setting, what position is going to work best for me. So where we want to measure for level is on the left-hand side of these breeder boxes, where we have the edge here, which has the same height over here. If you look, we start to dip down right here, which is going to be important in a minute, but if you measure level there, it's not going to be quite fair. You have to measure from the top and the top edge on the front and back of that breeder box. So for position number 1, if we look for level, we're very clearly slanting towards the aquarium, which is a good thing. If we look at position number 2, we are still slightly slanting towards the aquarium, but just ever so slightly. And then if we look at position number 3, you can see that we're actually slanting a little bit away from the aquarium. And why that's important is because of how these breeder boxes work. Because we have an airlift tube that's pulling water from the aquarium into this breeder box, it has 2 or 3 inches of available water that it's going to be able to pull up into this breeder box. And if this breeder box is slanted away from the aquarium, if this ever gets plugged up, even in the slightest, if a piece of plant gets stuck against there, or a piece of food gets stuck against there, or if you modify it with a piece of foam like I have, and the water level just raises a little bit because it starts to get plugged up, what happens is that water backs up very quickly. And if you have a very high flow coming into these breeder boxes, what's going to happen is it's actually going to spit a little bit of water and start dripping onto the floor. And that might not be a big problem, and you might catch it before it becomes a big problem. But if you have hardwood floors, if you have carpets, and one of these things starts to drip on the carpet and you go away for the weekend, you could potentially have 3 or 4 gallons of water on the floor before you realize what's happened. So just make sure you check out your breeder boxes to make sure that they're slanted slightly towards the aquarium. And what that's going to allow is, even if it is really plugged up like this is here, as long as it's slanted towards the aquarium, you'll notice as we pour a bunch of water in, what's going to happen is that acts as an emergency overflow. Just that slight edge that's cut out here is going to act as an emergency spillover, and that water is going to enter the tank, as opposed to the opposite, which would be the water spilling out the other end. Anyways guys, it's a pretty simple concept, but it's a neat little device here to slightly adjust for level on your aquarium. So I would suggest you check that out, even if you've had them set up for a while. I actually had mine set up, and it was slightly tilted away from the aquarium, so it would have caused a problem if I hadn't caught it in time. But anyways guys, hope that helps. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys later.